Roger Penske went on a firing spree on Wednesday. What's the status of Austin Cindric and his future at Team Penske? Plus, is rain about to interrupt Kyle Larson's attempt at the double again? Welcome back to Break Hard. I'm Matt. You get the random midday recording at lunchtime here for me because just absolute monster news dropped. No, not the fact that Christopher Bell is going to have a new spotter, Stevie Reeves out, Matt Philpott in. No, we're going to talk about the fact that Team Penske cleaned house on Wednesday. Roger Penske has had enough of the cheating scandals because on Wednesday, they put out a press release that made me reread it twice just to make sure I actually read what I read. Team President Tim Cindric, fired. Managing Director Ron Rzuski, fired. General Manager Kyle Moyer, also fired. The top three executives at Team Penske, gone. Out of there, not to come back after yet another scandal has cast a dark cloud over Team Penske, over IndyCar, and once again called into question the integrity of both entities. And I think Roger has finally had enough of it. Maybe that guy in the garage area on Sunday wearing that Team Cheaters shirt with the Cincinnati Bearcats hat on actually played a much bigger role in all of this, because I think Roger was just done with the scandals and the constant excuses coming out of Tim Cindric, who just kept being like, yeah, it's an in-house issue. We're going to have to get better. We got to clean things up on our end here. It's a pattern. Like Graham Rahal said the other day on the local Indianapolis news, it's a pattern. We see it happening time and time again now, and nothing really had been done about it. Oh, a little slap on the wrist. Oh, we fined him $100,000. That's just Roger sitting across the table from himself, basically just sliding the $100,000 there and then just bringing it back to him. It's a moot point. It doesn't matter. This does matter. This is big. This is big time. Tim Cindric's been with the team since 1999. He's been the team president there since 2006. Ron Rzuski's been with the team since 2005. Then Kyle Moyer's been there since 2015. Also means that all three drivers now head into the Indianapolis 500 on Sunday without their race strategist as well. Roger Penske is an immensely loyal guy. How often do you see people leave Team Penske? Not often. It's very rare. The fact that Elio left was mainly because he wanted to keep racing, and Roger didn't want to keep him going in IndyCar and didn't want to field a fourth car for him at the 500 and everything that goes into that. So he left. For the most part, everybody stays at Team Penske for a while. Like I said, Tim Cindric's been there for 26 years. Ron, been there for 21 years. Kyle Moyer going into his 16th season with the team? 10th season with the, or not 16th, sorry. 11th season with the team. Aged him there a little bit. Yeah, people don't leave Team Penske often. They don't fire people often. This would be like if Hendrick Motorsports came in and Rick Hendrick just wiped out Jeff Gordon, Chad Knaus, and Marshall Clausen all in one swift swoop. Doesn't happen very often. It's a seismic change over at Team Penske, and it's something that had to be done. Yeah, is this a move to save face? Absolutely. Do I think Roger Penske is genuinely pissed off about this? Yeah, I do. Because it's, again, the fourth scandal in the last 12 plus months, last 14, 15 months. They've had four pretty major scandals. You had push to pass last year in IndyCar, where they said they didn't know that the push to pass code was in their cars so that they could use push to pass so nobody else could. Clearly, I think everybody doesn't believe that. I think everybody thinks they knew that they had it in there and thinks that they took advantage of it. Then you had the IMSA controversy, the Joey Logano Webb glove controversy in Atlanta, and now you have this, once again, the attenuator issue. And it's not that the attenuator issue is necessarily going to give them that much speed. That's not why Joseph Newgarden won the Indianapolis 500 last year. It's just the fact that it's another way that they tried to skirt the rules. They modified a part that you're not allowed to modify, especially being a safety piece here. Every other team abided by those rules, and they didn't. Once again, they didn't do it. So, yeah, I think that changes do need to be made, because it didn't seem like Tim Cindric ever really took this that seriously. At least not in my opinion. When you watch him, and he's a pretty, I'll call him low energy guy. Not the fact that he doesn't care, but he's a pretty low energy guy. Doesn't ever really seem to get upset. Doesn't really ever seem to get his blood pressure up, anything like that. And he's always just like, yeah, he's like, it's an in-house issue. We gotta work on it. And the way that they handled the push-to-pass controversy was really bad. I probably would have fired him after that one, because that was a PR nightmare. And for a team like Team Penske, an organization like Penske, to have such bad PR at times is absolutely astounding. This time around, this past week, hasn't been that great either. Tim Cindric basically, when asked if the cars on Saturday in qualifying had those attenuators on them, he just said, oh, I'm done talking about this topic. All right, well, so yeah, let's go ahead and say that they did, because more than likely they did. So it's just bad optics all around, and changes had to be made. And they were made. And I think this will now appease a decent portion of the fan base and the garage area to be like, all right, they are taking this seriously. Because the integrity of the series was absolutely on the line once again. Because you have the strongest team with the most power that's owned by the guy that owns the series and the racetrack, once again getting caught up in a scandal, and once again it was kind of met with just all right. I mean, the outcry is the reason why they penalized them in the first place, because originally on Sunday, Doug Bowles, president of IndyCar, said that the penalties would be announced after the 500. And I think everybody sat around and was like, buddy, we got a week before the 500. Let's figure this out now. Give them their penalties for this race. And they did. They did, to their credit. They announced the penalties, which I don't think anybody expected for them to be announced on Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it ended up being. Yeah, they had to do something, and they did. And I think it was the right move. Hate to see somebody get fired, especially somebody that's been there for as long as they have. But listen, you can't keep making mistakes, at least not big mistakes like this, year in and year out, and expect nothing to happen. Immediately after Team Penske announced that they had fired team president Tim Cindric, the internet immediately turned its attention to Austin Cindric, Tim Cindric's son, who races for Team Penske in the NASCAR Cup Series, driving that number 2 Ford Mustang, and wondered, is Austin getting fired too? Is he going to leave Team Penske? No, his ride is very much safe. He has won a race this year. He is going to race for a championship. He's locked into the playoffs. They are not making a mid-season change because his dad got fired. This is business. I think everybody understands that. Well, not everybody. Most people understand that. Austin 100% understands that. Tim understands that. The team understands that as well. Yeah, it sucks to see your dad get fired from the place where you both worked at. Absolutely, that's going to suck. At the same time, Austin has his own job to go out there and do. Tim had his job to do and didn't do it. That's why he got fired. Austin still has his job to do over here. That team is still going to compete for a championship. He's got 3 top 10s, 1 top 5, a win. He's led over 200 laps this year. That team has speed. They're going to be okay going forward. And he's got more wins in the last 36 races than Chase Elliott does. There's no reason to move on from Austin Cindric at this point. Now, when contract renewals come up, yeah, who knows what happens there? Does he come back? Does he re-sign with the team? Does he go somewhere else? Who knows? That's a topic for whenever that day comes around. But for now, in terms of a midseason change, yeah, Austin's not going anywhere. Why would he? There's nobody to put in that car, one, that can do a better job than what he's currently doing within the Ford camp. And I know somebody in the comments will immediately be like, Corey Heim could do better. All right, well, he's tied to Toyota, so he's not coming over. Same thing you can say for the Chevy guys. They're not coming over. In terms of the Ford camp, you got Harrison Burton, you've got Sheldon Creed, and you got Sam Mayer. I don't think any of those are going to hop in the car and do better than what Austin is currently doing right now. So, yeah, bummer for Austin. Like I said, don't want to see your dad get fired, but he's got a job to do. He's going to be perfectly fine. They're going to go out there and compete for a championship. And now we'll see what happens with him going forward. And hopefully everybody there just understands it. And I'm sure that they absolutely do. It's not like Tim was around the Cup garage as much as he used to be either over the last year and a half or so. So there's definitely a big separation there. They're both adults. Everybody's an adult here for the most part. They're all going to work through it. But no, Austin Cindric is not also getting fired from Team Penske today. All right, last topic of the day, the dreaded rain word. Once again, it has worked its way into the topic of conversation for this weekend's Indianapolis 500. I hate to say it. I hate to even bring it up, but it's something we have to talk about. If you don't talk about it, it's not going to happen. Listen, this isn't a no-hitter happening here. We're going to talk about this real quick because it's weather, and weather doesn't care whether I talk about it or not. It's going to do what it wants to do. So, IndyCar Weatherman on Twitter, at IndyCar_WXMan. Absolutely give him a follow. Fantastic. I follow him and read his forecast every single time I'm going to an IndyCar race because they are 99% of the time absolutely spot on, and it really will help you plan out. Last year for the Indianapolis 500, he nailed it. There's a reason I had a rain jacket there once again, and was able to get back to the car in time because of, in part, his forecast. So, will rain affect Sunday's race? Maybe. Not entirely sure yet. Is it going to derail Kyle Larson's attempt at the double? Remains to be seen. But as it currently stands, it doesn't look like it is. So based off of what the IndyCar weatherman says, basically said that there is a system that will move through Indiana on Sunday morning. Right now, it's projected to stay south of Indianapolis. But if the pressure does shift, it could go north, then it would hit the racetrack. But it looks like it would be in the morning hours, getting wrapped up before noon. If there is any sort of delay, yeah, I think that probably cancels Kyle Larson's chances at running both races, or at least all 1,100 miles. He'll have to get out of the car at Indianapolis to make it to Charlotte in time. As the IndyCar weatherman says, next storm system approached the plains overnight Saturday into early Sunday. The activity is routed south. Indianapolis remains just north of the rain, but it's close. If high pressure comes in a little weaker than forecast, it could allow rain to creep up in a little north. For now, still a dry forecast. So I'm going to go with that. For now, it is still a dry forecast. It is not going to rain heading into Sunday. It's not going to affect the start of the race. Let's go with that. I think we're going to be all right. I'm going to be positive here. I hope it doesn't rain. We went, like 2007 until 2024 without rain. It's gonna be okay. We're not getting back-to-back rain years. Not gonna happen. It hasn't happened in a really long time. So I'm gonna remain positive here. I want to see Kyle Larson get all 1,100 miles in. I want to be able to go to the Indianapolis 500 and not experience rain this time around. I've been to a lot of non-rain races at Indy, but I don't want to sit through the rain again. I don't want to go have a nap in the car waiting for this race to get started. I don't want to have to dry off my seat again. I just want to see this race run as it should. Last year's race, though, ending around golden hour was kind of cool. That was cool. I'll give it that. The images were cool. The shadows were cool. Everything about it, pretty cool. At the same time, I want to see this race start on time, 12:45 Eastern time on Sunday, and have a full 500 miles so that we can, one, see who's going to win this race, two, also get Kyle Larson off to Charlotte, hopefully completing all 500 miles in Indianapolis. So let me know in the comments what you think about Team Penske clearing house, Austin Cindric and his future with the team, as well as rain for Sunday's Indianapolis 500. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on TikTok at BreakHard, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at BreakHardBlog.